Welcome to a Fifth Jack Gaming. It's the first Wednesday of the month. That's right. So, we're in the month of April. What does that mean? That means we cover what we ended up picking up throughout the entire month of March. This is everything that we ended up picking up from Shipping Wars, and then some. If you ended up actually checking it out, let us know down in the comments down below what you thought of it. How's it going? What's going on? Let us know down in the comments down below, and we'll end up talking with you, chilling out with one another. Now, before we end up going too far, you can go over to our channel affiliate, Organic Price Books, where you can use the discount code A Fifth of Jack to save $2 off. Or if you have 4 more books, you can use the code Jack Together to save 5% off your entire order instead. Orders of $30 or more ends up getting some free shipping. So it's a nice, good old way to get some savings, help the channel, and help our affiliate or Organic Price Books. We appreciate the help. We do get a little kickback that helps us to be able to pick up some of these bad boys. And without further ado, let's jump into the haul. Before we end up diving too far, we end up picking up the system of Manga. That's right, we have Manga. Independent, DC, and ultimately Marvel. That's where we're going to end up with. And then we end with Marvel. That way we end up having all the stuff that we end up having, and all the goodies. So, without further ado, we'll get started off with the books. First book is Manga, and we ended up picking up Volume 2 of Berserk. Super excited to be picking this up. Read the first volume. The first volume was the first time we ended up reading something that was manga. Spent a couple years before we ended up finally pulling the trigger with it. This is something I have the feeling that we're going to end up going down the rabbit hole of picking up all the volumes. That's right. All the volumes. All what? 14? 14 volumes, I think? Well, maybe 15? Either way, we have Volume 2 added to the collection. And then we descended into some goodness with Descender Volume 2. The deluxe copy. We ended up having this on our hit list. And it was also part of a Target Down where we ended up picking this up. Because honestly, with Independence, you never know when it's going to get a reprint. Especially something niche like this. It's from Jeff Lemire. And I'm super excited to be able to add this to the library. Because now we can end up reading Ascender, Descender, and Descender 2. Well, Volume 2. Now, let's descend into the sewers. That's right, we're going into the sewers where we're going to go to IDW's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We have Volume 13, followed by 14, 15, and number 16. That has us caught right up until the pre-orders. So we have all the different volumes from IDW's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that's added up until we have the 2 more volumes that's up for pre-order. That's definitely something that we're going to end up picking up because, like I've been saying, I'm a little bit worried about what's going to happen with IDW from the fallout from Diamond. So this might be a company that might not make it, but I want to make sure we collect everything that we ended up wanting from that company. Because we know the rules is that we don't pick up books over cover price. Because that's just crazy. Talking about not picking up stuff from cover price, well, I had a little, what do you call it? A little birdie told me there was a heavily discount. But before we end up talking about it, I ended up going into DC with Green Arrow. Arrow's Conquest Omnibus Volume 1. So this had a pretty heavy discount that Amazon indirectly ended up making, where it was like $60. So I was like, snap, buy it. I might not even want it, but just in case, I'll pick it up. And that's what we ended up doing. We had it pre-ordered for that price. Obviously, you want to be able to get it now for that price because they ended up having it and they fixed the mistake within, a week of that time. So we were happy that we were able to snag this. Super excited. And this is going to go right next over to our Mike Grinnell, the Longbow Hunters omnibuses that we ended up having. Okay, DC was one and done. Had a little shenanigans at picking that up. So that means we're diving into Marvel. That's right, we're into Marvel, so we're almost wrapped up with this already. Holy smokes. And we're going to start off with a banger with Daredevil by Nascenti and Romita Jr. This is volume 1, and this is a direct market cover that I ended up wanting to pick up. So, this is awesome. This is exciting because we know we went down the rabbit hole of Daredevil, and this ends up a nice addition that comes over with it. We are hoping that Soul Daredevil ends up getting a reprint because that would be awesome to also add to the library because we're in the process of reading that digitally, guys. And I'm liking what I'm reading so far. And then we want the Marvel Knights Daredevil. And then we'd be pretty much caught up Daredevil-wise because I'm not going to get before Frank Miller. The goal is to collect from Frank Miller back. And talking about Frank Miller, this goes right next to that Frank Miller, the companion edition. And we had to make the ultimate decision of what we ended up going with. And if you ended up seeing what we ended up having for a shipping wars, we ended up having some ultimate choices that we ended up having. Why am I talking about ultimate so much? Well, ultimately, you end up seeing what we ended up picking up from Marvel. And we're going to start this ultimate line with the Ultimates. Had a screaming deal of this, picked it up at like $40, so that's below our cover, way below cover price. That's over half the cover price, and that's with shipping. So that was a nice solid pickup that we ended up having. And I believe the Ultimates, I believe that is the Avengers line of that, or has Mark Miller and Brian Hitch on art. So it's a nice, different way that goes over with it, and expanded our Ultimate universe. And our next two go together like peanut butter and jelly. Why do I say that? Well, it's Ultimate X-Men Volume 1. So I picked this up on the suggestion from my friend Tyler over at Illuminati. And he ended up suggesting this guy. So I ended up picking this up. I had a ultimate decision with it. And he said to pick this up over what the other choice was. I can't remember what the other choice. But that was something that goes over with it. So obviously, you got the peanut butter, and the jelly is going to be Volume 2 of Ultimate X-Men as well. Ended up picking up these. I believe these both, or no, this might be the direct market cover, and the other one is a standard cover. But we ended up picking this up from Organic Price Books. Had a stellar deal that we ended up having with it. Not as good as the other one, but you know what? It came, it showed up, nice and safe, and perfectly what we were looking for. So that's the haul. We ended up picking up Ultimate X-Men, the Ultimates, Daredevil by Nascenti, and then we also had the Green Arrow, Arrow's Conquest Volume 1. Then we also have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from Volume 13 all the way over to 16. And then we also picked up Descender. And to top it all off, we got some manga with Berserk Volume 2. All stellar stuff. Did you pick up anything throughout the entire month? Let us know down in the comments down below. And if you're liking the content we're putting out, like, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon to be notified whenever we come out with new content. Now, it's important to also say that we're affiliated with Organic Price Books, where you can use the discount code of 5th of Jack to save $2 off. Or if you rock an order of 4 or more books, use the code Jacket Together to save 5% off your entire order instead. Orders of $30 or more ends up getting free shipping. So most likely, if you're putting an order together, you're going to get some nice free shipping out of it. Thank you for watching. And until next time, we'll see you later.